welcome again to yet another incredibly stupid episode of Litsauced. We're doing Island of Dr. Moreau, because why not? It's an amazing story by H.G. Wells, who in my opinion is the modern hard science fiction version of Ernest Hemingway. H.G. Wells didn't fuck around, man. He had sci-fi stories that told you things that were going to happen or that were happening that were not nice. They weren't pretty. It wasn't laser guns and robots. It was like, hey, 10,000 years in the future, there's just giant crabs. Giant crabs. And they get all stuck in your junk. Island of Dr. Moreau. Of course, you're seeing it backwards, so it's you're a rum of... Island of Dr. Moreau was written during a time... I've had like 4 of these. It was written during a time when vivisection was very popular in modern society. And H.G. Wells was one of the first people, as he's always one of the first people, to use the scientific or science fiction realm to discuss the moralities of science. And that was like the fucking smartest thing I've ever said in my life. So the story starts pretty much right away with one Edward Prendick. He's a scientist, and he's awash upon the sea. Just, why the fuck am I in the ocean? And then a boat comes by. Why the fuck were you in the ocean? That's my best pirate. I was just on the ocean and now I'm in this bed. Who are you? I'm Val Kilmer. I'm sorry, who? I'm sorry, Montgomery? My name's Montgomery. I'm pretty sure you just said your name was Val Kilmer. I'm Batman. What? My name's Montgomery. Oh, who's that guy standing over there? Oh, that's Man Bear Pig. Huh? Oh, Maling. His name's Maling. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure you just said his name was Man Bear Pig. No, it's Maling. Where's Maling from? Canada? Edward Prendick gets picked up on this mysterious ship by a guy named Montgomery, and Montgomery is like this adventurer type, and he proceeds to tell him nothing of importance, really. And then he's like, oh, hey, don't mind all of these cages full of exotic, dangerous animals. And Edward Prendick's like, well, okay, but you got a puma in there. You got a puma in there. So Montgomery he's like, I'm going to an island, by the way. And Prendick's like, well, that's cool. I'm a scientist. I love islands. Islands are the shit. So the boat's like, boo, drops off Montgomery, and they're like, to Prendick, they're like, we're just going to put you back in the ocean. Excuse me. We're just going to put you back in the ocean. Montgomery's like, okay, fine. Fine, I'll take you. So he takes him to the island. And Prendick's looking around and like, this is kind of a crazy, like, Jurassic Park island. Like, where are we? We are precisely right there. Prendick realizes where he is because he meets the man behind the mystery. Dr. Moreau comes down from his giant base camp up at the top of the mountain, and he's like, So they send him up to the bunk, and they unload all the animals, and all the animals get put onto the base leaf. The next day he wakes up, and the puma's in the operating room, right? And because there's an operating room on this island, and it's just making the worst noises ever. It's like, meow! Meow! And it's freaking Prendick out, right? So he's like, I'm gonna go take a walk. He comes up on like a watering hole, and there are some people there who look like pigs, and this is unsettling to him. And he kind of freaks out a little bit, and he's like, why are those people pigs? And the pigs are like, oink. And he notices that they're like trying not to drink like animals, but they are drinking like animals, but they're trying not to, but they are. But they starts stalking him, and he looks around, and he's like, what is stalking me? And the leopard man's like, oh, it's me. I'm stalking you. I'm the leopard man. And so he's like, a pace, and he's chasing him, and he's pretty sure Leopard Man's gonna kill him. So Prendick, scientist, man of knowledge, automatically is like, okay, how can I stop a giant man leopard from killing me? Oh, look, here's a rock. And he turns around and he's like, and it's like, boom, and he's like, meow, to the compound. And who's waiting there for him but Montgomery? And Montgomery is like, when I was your age, I used to drink a lot, like a lot. So he wakes up the next day, and lo and behold, the door to the operating room is open, just open. So he goes in there because he's Prindrick and he's a scientist and he's curious, and he sees the puma and it's laying on the table and it's all wrapped in some shit and it's all like, meow, meow. And he's like, oh my god, what are you doing to this puma? And he's had it. He's done. So he goes back out into the jungle, even though the leopard man's out there with a big old fucking lump on his head from where someone threw a rock at him. And he's like, I don't know about this. And that's where he meets the ape man. So the ape man's like, hey, want to come with me? So they go to the cave and they meet this guy. It's called the Sayer. They don't really have a name for him or a description for him. He's just a giant glob of gray something. And so he's like, he starts saying some laws at him. He's like all about the laws. He's like, we shall not drink stoop down on the water. We shall not walk on all fours. We shall not hunt and eat red-blooded animals. And all of a sudden, Montgomery and Dr. Moreau like bust in the door on the cave. Like, I guess it's like a screen door. And like, poof, and Montgomery's like, I'm Batman. And everyone's like, who the fuck is Batman? So time passes, and everyone's like, okay, it's cool. We're on an island full of man, bear, pig, beast, dude, rabbit, puma, animal, creatures. Completely normal. And so everyone just goes about their way, and it's all very gothic. Oh, I'm enjoying my day. Oh, but the splendor. Oh. And then some shit happens, and like the animals get really mad. And they start like marching on the compound, and Montgomery is like, not Montgomery. Dr. Moreau's like, I'm gonna do something about this. That voice hurts. And Montgomery's like, I'll take care of it because I'm the saint. And they're like, who the fuck is the saint? What is your name again? And so he goes down there, and there's this big confrontation. And it turns out that the leopard man, the hyena men, because there's hyena men too, are like all behind all the shenanigans. They're like killing all the rabbits, because I guess rabbits aren't good enough to be rabbit men. They're like rabbit squires. And they're just causing a bunch of shenanigans. Everyone's like, oh, we want to be equals. And everyone's like, yeah, can't be equals. And so there's a big fight. All right, and during this time, the puma gets out. And Montgomery and Moreau come back to the base camp, and the Puma Man is gone, out there meowing somewhere. And Dr. Moreau goes out there to find him, and he kills him. Fucking kills him. The animals get really pissed off. They come up to the island. They come up to the compound, and they get in the scuffle with Montgomery. And Montgomery is like, "You can't kill me. You can't kill me. I'm in love with Elizabeth Shue." That's a weird reference. And then they kill him. So it's just Prindrick on the island now with a bunch of beastmen, dude, creature, things. And he makes friends with a Saint Bernard. I think his name is Beethoven. And the Saint Bernard's like a dude, half whatever. And they have a lot of grand adventures together. And I think Prindrick fucks a couple of them. And then after a while, he just realizes this isn't where I want to be, because all the animals are no longer people. They're turning back into animals, because that's what they originally were. They used to be animal people things, and now they're just like animals. And Marlon Brando's dead, and Val Kilmer's dead, and it's just me here, and with a bunch of animals that used to be men, but now they're animals again, and some kind of reference on vivisection. And he's like, I'm going to make a raft, and I'm going to get out of here.